Hey, this is Matt once again. What about 10 videos? Another paid request. This time for Shawn. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And Shawn wanted me to do a commentary on Halloween H20, 20 years later. And let's get into it. 3, 2, 1, pressing play. And we're here. We have the Mirror Match logo from the holier than thou attitudes of the Weinsteins. You never heard of them again, right? And Dimension Films, which of course was riding the success of Stream in '96, Stream 2 in '97. Dimension Films were also releasing some of the later Hellraiser films. I think they released Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers, Mimic. And the Weinsteins had this reputation, I mean nowadays the reputation is of fucking over women. Back then it was fucking over movies. Where, for example, I remember there was a story I heard about Mimic that Guillermo del Toro didn't like working with the Weinsteins. And I do enjoy the film Mimic quite a bit, but the story I heard was, I believe Guillermo del Toro wanted to hire this actor named Andre Braugher, who happens to be black, and he would be the husband of Mira Sorvino's character. And then one of the Weinsteins had said, we don't want a black guy, black and white relationship, so get this other actor. And that upset Guillermo del Toro, as it would with anybody, and that's the kind of guys Weinsteins were, among other shit. So, all the debacle fiasco of Cursed, that movie, films being reworked, reshot, re-edited, different cuts of films. Seems like a common practice for a lot of the Weinstein-produced movies. Now there you had a very young Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Very young Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Of course, later on will be a Looper, Inception, The Dark Knight Rises. He was in this good independent film called Brick. Yes, even though it's directed by Rian Johnson, it's still a pretty decent film. But he was in an underrated one called Premium Rush. Good actor. Of course, this is very early in his career. And of course, the woman smoking there is, I'm bad with names, Nancy Stevens. Nancy Stevens, who was the nurse in the first Halloween. And then, funny enough, they bring her back in the new Halloween films to do pretty much the same thing. Stand around and then eventually get killed by Michael Myers. Now, I like this film. It does have its flaws, but I do like it. I thought it goes at a really quick pace. It's an hour and 26 minutes. I thought Jamie Lloyd did a great job. I much prefer her portrayal of Laurie Strode here compared to the new ones. Yes, because I like the character, I prefer that she was able to get a hold of her life. And yes, she does have issues, including alcoholism and paranoia, that has affected her relationship with her kid. But she still was also to lead a somewhat decent, successful life. And is trying to cope, but does become this wannabe Linda Hamilton, got this compound with 85 guns that does fucking nothing for this trap of a fire that didn't do fucking anything. I guess if you just think of the first Halloween 2018 and don't count the sequels, just look at it as a standalone, I guess it. But then she needed the daughter's help, They get Michael Myers trapped in there. Does Jamie Lee Curtis got fucked up and injured? But I just much more preferred her portrayal. I much preferred the fight, the battle. It really felt like a big, epic battle between Laurie Strode and Michael Myers, to the point, I don't know if this is true about it. I swear an earlier part of the strip, like a alternate title, was The Revenge of Laurie Strode, which actually, when you looked at the finale, made sense. But yeah, obviously this was made because of success of Scream. Scream blew the doors out of horror for Hollywood. That's why you had Scream 2 Fast Track to be the next year, 1997. That's why you had Kevin Williamson having do everything, having work on a script for this film. I know he did last summer, which that got released in 97. And then he tried to do his film. It was Killing Mrs. Tingle, but he got changed to Teaching Mrs. Tingle. He did script rewrites on this. I know the actual writer name is this is Robert Zappa and Matt Greenberg, but I wonder if Matt Greenberg is a false name for Kevin Williamson. Because Robert Zappa is interviewed, but not Matt Greenberg, so I don't know who Matt Greenberg is unless it's a fake name. But I guess that's why Kevin Williamson got a co-executive producer credit, because he came in to do little rewrites and stuff. Um, Now you did wonder where the hell has Michael Myers been for the past 20 years. Maybe he was in a coma. Maybe he's taking a big long dump. I don't know. I forget which script it was, but I remember one iteration they actually wanted to incorporate Halloween 4, 5, and 6 into this to showcase what he had been doing for the past 20 years. That Laurie Strode had faked her death. And there was a strip where there was a monologue at the college where someone was doing a paper on Michael Myers, and Jamie, Daniel Harris's character, is brought up as part of the report and what happened to her. And Laurie Strode, who is under a false name, secret, identity, she overhears this, goes to a bathroom, and pukes her guts out because this is the dollar she gave up to try to keep her safe, hide, whatever. Oh, there's Joseph Gordon-Levitt. That's a cool effect. Ice skates in the face. I think that's a cool visceral effect. Now that is the mask from, I believe, Halloween 6. When Michael Myers is standing at the door. I don't know about the rest of the scene, but I know when Michael Myers is standing at the door, you look at the mask, that is the mask from Halloween 6. That's the John Carl Buechler, that mask. The rest of it might not be, but that one shot. Because yes, it's one of those films where there's a lot of different masks, and that became a whole... One of the issues, which is, pick one fucking mask and stick with it. Not 5, or whatever the hell many. But yeah, she gets killed here. Which is okay, like, this character survived, and she's helping, she's fighting back, but, character people recognize, but, wasn't an important character. I mean, she was, but she wasn't, and she is killed. And they just did the same fucking bit, almost the same bit in the Halloween Kills. She comes back, she's sitting around, then she dies again. But yeah, what I was saying is, I don't remember what the fuck I was saying, actually. But yeah, F, it was the 20th anniversary. Like I say, they got the original script ideas. I know the writer talked about, because he was in the documentary, his one idea was that it was going to involve some kind of copycat killer, and then they're like, well, actually, Jamie Lee Curtis wants to do it to his 20th anniversary. I think she saw it as a gimmick. I know in the interview she's like, I wanted to do something for the fans. No, your career was kind of, hey, it's 20 years later, people talk about it, let's make some money. She doesn't like horror films. She never liked horror films. She doesn't like this stuff. She could appreciate Halloween because it was a strong character and it gave her a career, but she does not like Terror Train. She does not like The Fog. She does not like Road Game. She does not like Halloween 2. She's already admitted this in interviews, so. And she doesn't like this movie. I'm sure in 5 years' time, maybe she won't like the new movies. Which that'd be a good thing. I do like this slow pan. Well, now it's dissolved, but. And yeah, Steve Miner directed this. Jamie Lee Curtis wanted Steve Miner because originally it was going to be John Carpenter. But John Carpenter, I've heard either A, he wanted like a shitload of money, or B, he wanted a 3-picture deal at Dimension Films. Or both. I don't know which. One or the other or both. Actually, before I get that, this whole narration, Dr. Loomis said this, but you wonder why didn't they just use Donald Pleasance's Donald's voice? Thankfully, they do answer that in the documentary. It's a pretty good documentary, about an hour long on the Blu-ray. The only audio they had of Dr. Loomis, like Donald Pleasance saying these lines, is when the audio was already mixed with the music and sound effects. So if they played his voice, you'd be hearing the sound and you'd be hearing the music from the first movie. I'm like, well, then just play the first fucking movie, because the first fucking movie has good music, and the sound effects you could hide with papers rustling and do some, like, editing. I mean, come on, it's Donald Pleasance. Let his voice live on. Just use some bits of editing. So I still think they should have used. I still think they should have used Donald Pleasance, his voice. As I said, I do like the film. I do have issues with it, but I think it's an entertaining, quick, with a very satisfying finale. The finale itself is what sells it for me, and Jamie Lee Curtis's performance. And it still felt fresh. Like Halloween 2018 felt like regurgitation. A lot of elements, especially from this. Many years later, Jamie Lee Curtis has nightmares from what happened in the past. She's a bit of a fruitcake. She has a kid who's grown now. And she has not the best relationship with that kid because of how she acted throughout the years. And her and her kid are estranged from each other. And she's paranoid of Michael Myers coming back. Shit that they did in Halloween 2018. I do like this bit here with what Steve Miner did. Sort of a way of showcasing the nightmare. You get her fake name. You get the picture of her son. To make that connection. Bit of her paranoia. The showcase. She's just thinking, and of course the closet reminding her what happened in the first movie. And you got images there. Pretty cool camera work. And yeah, I think this works much better than the fucking looking like the evil cat lady from The Simpsons. If you don't know what I mean, look it up. I mean, just to me, this works a lot better for me as a fan of the character, as a way of progressing the character. Just much more interesting for me in this. But like I was saying before, because I went like 85 directions, Scream is a success. Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers, was not a success. So you look at the film, The Successful Scream, either copy or look at what made that film work. So, Scream makes over $100 million, comes out December '96. Scream 2 is fast tracked. I Know What You Did Last Summer is made, pretty much written by Kevin Williamson. Those are hits as well. Companies are like, what slasher films can we do? You would see Valentine, you would see I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, you would see Urban Legends, which I do like that film. You see a lot of these other movies come out. Some good, some bad. And they had the same type of poster, a bunch of faces, kind of this similar pose, which Scream did that before this. Same with Scream 2, same with I Know What You Did Last Summer, following the trend at that time. So, Halloween 6 laid a turd, because it is a turd. Fuck that movie. I think that movie sucks. I think both cuts of that movie suck. Paul Rudd and Magic Stones freezing Michael Myers and all this other bullshit. Uh, Daniel Harris's character got played by a different actress and is raped by her uncle and has a baby, and what the fuck? I mean, sure, that's different too, but just have Michael Myers shit his britches and paraded twirling around while he's running butt ass naked with jello over his body. That would be different too. Some differences you just never want to see the light of day. So, Jamie Lee Curtis is adamant to do this. I think she saw the gimmick of it all. It's 20 years later, get to star in a film. They've been wanting me to do it. I think later on she regrets and says, I wish I had gotten Deborah Hill and John Carpenter. I think she really wanted John Carpenter to do it. Like I said, John Carpenter wanted it. I've heard I did $10 million or a 3-picture deal with Dimension. And I'm like, I kind of get what he's saying, but at the same time, like, John Carpenter, you're my favorite director. What was the last film you did that was an actual hit? I mean, at that time, 1998. I mean, Vampires was around the same time. It made like 20 million, a little bit of money. I love In the Mouth of Madness, but that didn't make money. I liked Stephen Millay. That was a bomb. Memoirs of Invisible Man, I'm not a fan of, and that didn't do anything. Village of the Damned, I don't mind, and that didn't do anything. So you had a series of bombs. So I don't know. So John Carver didn't do it. Deborah Hill, she probably didn't do it because John Carver didn't do it, or because she's like, fuck it. See, I like this bits here with the glass reflection. That right there sells me on her being haunted by Michael Myers. That, to me, that sells it, and it keeps the story going, and it still feels a bit fresh compared to other movies in the franchise. So they get Steve Miner. They got Steve Miner because, of course, A, he had done Friday the 13th Part 2 and 3, but B, because Jamie Lee Curtis had worked with Steve Miner on Forever Young, the Mel Gibson movie. I believe it was the Mel Gibson movie. And yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis was in it. Steve Miner had directed it. So she's like, oh, get this guy. So they started doing the film. I mentioned that before, like they didn't do Donald Pleasance, his voice, because apparently they only have the master that was in the movie already mixed with the music and sound effects. And yeah, the different, they made the film I think it was in the, some say before the film started, but I've also heard in the middle of the film, Mustafa Akkad was like, "You cannot kill Michael Myers." And so they're like, "Okay, well, okay, Mustafa." They still made the movie they wanted, but Kevin Williamson's like, "Okay, hey, we'll cut his head off, but this is how it'll be in the sequel." I think Kevin Williams. I believe Kevin Williamson was trolling the shit out of Mustafa Akkad. This is what I believe. I think Kevin Williamson. He's a smart enough guy to know that was a stupid fucking idea, but Mustafa Akkad would not move until don't go kill Michael Myers. Like he knew that people wanted Laurie Strode to cut Michael Myers' fucking head off. We don't give the audience that because people don't cheer, and they did. Me and my friends cheered as well. And we don't do that. Now I'm going to pull some bullshit plot that makes no fucking sense. But guess what? They don't blame the people who made Halloween Resurrection. This is another film Shawn wants me to do a commentary on. They don't... Kevin Williamson's name is not on this movie. So Kevin's like, well, my name's on it. My name's not on it, so I don't get blamed. I know it's shitty and stupid. You want to make the stupid decision? You live in it. Got the ending I wanted? It's your ass, Mr. Postman. My name's not on Resurrection, so fuck it. Wow, Michael Myers stalking someone in a bathroom. Or, not stalking, but, there's a lady in a bathroom, and Michael Myers goes in the bathroom. Where have I seen that before? Oh, I saw it in Halloween 2018, only in 2018 he had the fucking teeth thing and just got the fuck out of Dodge. Because he killed the podcasters. Now, this is a bit of suspense because you assume that this lady would get killed. You assume that's what would happen. Like it does in Halloween 2018. But Michael Myers is like, I don't have time for your bullshit. I need to get to Laurie Strode. Fuck y'all. And good night. And fuck your car, too. But I don't mind that scene. I thought it was a bit of suspense because you think it's going to go one way, but it goes a different way. And then, yeah, Michael Myers in the bathroom again. And I'm not talking about Rob Zombie's Halloween where he kills Ken Foray. But I mean, how he kills the podcast. Pretty much like almost a rip-off of that fucking scene there. Not a total rip-off, different endings to each scene, but still. Michael Myers on the way to find Haddonfield or to hear Laurie Strode. Stop as a bathroom, and there's a woman. I don't know. Halloween's Greatest Hits. That's what I called the 2018 film. Now, of course, I have not mentioned we have Josh Hartnett here. Which, it's cool that he sat down for an interview for this documentary, for the making of. And he had nice things to say about it. He said he liked the film except his performance, which I don't think Josh Hartnett was that bad. But I like Josh Hartnett. I mean, I liked him in The Faculty. He said that he only done like a TV show or two. He had read for The Faculty. They were still debating on whether to cast him. But then he got this part, so he did this, and then he did The Faculty. And again, I thought he did good in both. And I've liked him in other stuff too. I thought he was good in Lucky Number 7 with Bruce Willis. I like him in Hollywood Homicide with Harrison Ford. Sin City, he's in the first one. You don't really hear from Josh Hartnett anymore. I don't really know what happened to him, if he retired or what, but yeah, I don't didn't mind him. My favorite role is still his performance in The Faculty as the drug dealing rebel guy. But I like this little banter that Jamie has with Alan Adam Arkin. Sorry, not Adam Arkin. But this banter between her and Adam Arkin, I always thought that was kind of nice to see. Because they're so used to young kids sneaking around and kissing, but in this type of film, they have two adults kind of doing that type of thing, and it just gives a little bit more to the proceedings of the character. And of course, you have LL Cool J, which obviously was stunt casting. What do the kids like? The kids like the hip hop. Can't get LL Cool J. And LL Cool J is fine. I mean, I don't mind LL Cool J. I don't. I liked him in Deep Blue Sea, which would be a year after this, because that was 99, this is 98. And he's done, what, I don't know, 15 seasons, whatever. That show with Chris O'Donnell, was it NCIS LA or something? Never saw it. I've seen advertised, but that show's been on for like forever. You wonder where Chris O'Donnell and LL Cool J's been. They've been on that show for like, it feels like 10, 15, 10 years. But I don't mind the actors in this, and I thought there was a bit more to them than anybody in Halloween 2018. Because the granddaughter, to me, I didn't feel anything about the granddaughter or her boyfriend. And the daughter, Jamie Lee Curtis, she was just very minuscule role for how seemingly important she was supposed to be. Just, she didn't like her mom, and the granddaughter was mad at her mom for not liking grandma. And like 3 more scenes that it just seemed minuscule. But yeah, like I said, this fully showcases her angst and her being affected by this, but able to move on. And in this continuity, she also dealt with the hospital shit in Halloween 2. In Halloween 1, I mean, it's a scary bit of business what happened, but I mean, to be the complete idea that people handle trauma in very different ways, I perfectly understand that, but it's just for a character that we deem strong, like Laurie Strode, to see this character that people want to infer she's such a strong character. She's such a strong character. She's such a strong character. But then after the first movie and the bits that happened, she just completely fell apart mentally. She completely fell apart on a societal structure, hit herself in her bunker, growing out her hair, getting more disheveled, pretending to be Linda Hamilton from Terminator 2, all sorts of other stuff. I mean, even Terminator 2 made more sense because she had to protect her son from this future war, and she knew the future war was coming. And while here, maybe the guy will come back. You don't know for sure and all this. And It just felt like she had more to do as an actress in this. Her trying to have a normal life, but breaking down from time to time. Her relationship with Adam Arkin here. Her fights with her son. It just felt like she had more to act with in this movie. That she gave more of a performance in this movie. A more, roller coaster of emotions. Playful and happy with his new boyfriend, paranoid with dealing with her son, angst, and of course anger. And just much more of a satisfying fight finale when you got to the third act. And again, her performance, the short, fast pace of the film, liking people like Josh Hartnett and LL Cool J. I mean, I was in that right frame, uh, at that right age. I mean, when this came out, I was probably 15 years old. I was probably 98. Starting high school or right before high school. I was just about right about the end of high school. And then right here, like, there's more. Like, this one conversation between these two is more than you just say. Did Jamie Lee Curtis, like, I watched Halloween 2018 again. Did she ever have any type of conversation with her daughter in the. Well, that daughter was alive in two films. And those two films combined. Take this one fight, this one conversation. There's more going on in this one scene of conversation between these two characters than Jamie Lee Curtis and the character who plays her daughter in 2018 or Kills. Because Kills, she's in the hospital and talking about how Michael Myers gets stronger with fear, or with each death it gets stronger, or what the fuck it is. In 2018, it was the granddaughter says some things to her, or she's crying in the truck, or she's yelling. Like I said, this one conversation has more merit and meat to the bone than much of the conversation she has in that new trilogy of Halloween films. Of course, a little ode to Mr. Sandman, which was playing at the end of Halloween 2. I mean, in other movies as well, to be fair. And when this film came out, it did well. When this film came out, it made money at the box office. You got some marketing push behind it, and yeah, it felt like an event. It's 20 years later, Jamie Lee Curtis is back as Laurie Strode, is riding the wave of these, stream and success of that. You get little homages, again, whether it be Janet Leigh and the cycle car, whether it be the kids watching Stream 2 on TV, some of the other stuff. And like I said, LL Cool J does fine, but he's no Busta Rhymes. His bust is busted. It's going to be interesting when I get into this movie because I hate the first 15 minutes of this movie, and after that, I actually do quite enjoy this movie. This is one of those movies that I hate the first 15 minutes. I like the rest of it for kind of in a trashy way. Because, like, I did that. I mean, there's stuff I think this does better than this in terms of. I do think Resurrection has. The light has a bit more atmospheric lighting in the Michael Myers house. The Michael Myers mask, I think, looks a bit better and looks more is more consistent because they did not keep changing it every 5 minutes. If people were annoyed by the constant references, pop culture stuff, there's less of that in Resurrection. I actually do like the webcam stuff, maybe because found footage films I do find interesting, maybe because it just made it seem unique. And I like Katie Sackhoff. I like what's his name, Sean Patrick Thomas. I love Busta Rhymes. I do. His performance, I know people hate. I understand it, but goddamn, man, he brings a smile to my face in that movie. I'll get to that. I will do that commentary sometime, Shawn. I don't know when, but I'm just picturing trick or treat, motherfucker. It brings see this smile on my face. This smile on my face. I did. I just hate the opening, but the rest of the movie, man. Well, why can't you do that for like Alien 3? Maybe because I like Halloween 2. Aliens is literally one of my favorite films of all time. There's a big difference between the two. I like H2O, but I would not put it on the level of Aliens. Now, I said, okay, there are issues I have with the film. What issues do I have? Even though I liked the film, I would give it maybe a... I'm going to say 4-star, maybe 3.5 out of 5 stars. Maybe 3.5 out of 5. Because, like I said, the cast, for the most part, I like. It's a short film. It goes by a good pace. Jamie Lloyd, I think, gives a really one of her better performances, especially as Laurie Strode. I would say her best performance as Laurie Strode. Her best performance as Laurie is this movie. There's just even more to do. The finale is exciting and fun and thrilling. Number one, Halloween is never really meant for kills. Okay, this is an ode to the first film. When Laurie Strode looked outside, you saw the car. Here she looks outside and see Michael Myers. But I thought Michelle Williams did fine. She's also very cute. I forgot I said introducing Josh Hartnett, that's right. But okay, number one, the different mask after mask after mask. I know it's kills, I'll get back to that. It's annoying. Because what happened was, Steve Miner, they had settled on this mask made by TMB. And the mask was more white, more like Casper. And some of the Y shots is still that mask. But then they got weeks into it, and the Weinsteins are like, I don't like the mask. Why the hell didn't you say it before you start fucking shooting? So they shot all this fucking footage. Then they have to what was it? They had $2 million to do reshoots and flooding all these scenes with the second mask. This time by, I think, Stan Winston's company. Because technically there's four. There's the John Carl Beechwood mask you saw a little bit when Nurse Nancy Stevens is killed. The nurse from was Nurse Marion from the first movie. The up close shots now are the Stan Winston mask, and the wider shots you'll still see plugged in as they can be. And the fourth one's that one scene with a CGI mask. And even the person on the documentary said, I guess the reason they did that is because the set was torn down. But then my thought is cut the scene. Like, you didn't need it. You don't need an extra shot of Michael Myers staring at him. Like, just cut the scene, because the CGI mask is much more in your face, much more obvious, much more of a glaring issue. Here's Janet Leigh, the mother of Jamie Lee Curtis, and of course the star of Psycho, the Alfred Hitchcock film with her and Anthony Perkins. And this is why she's in the car in the back. Goes to the car from Psycho. Which I know people groan at that. I didn't mind it. I thought because they're mother and daughter, in a weird way, is like a pass of the torch. We've all had bad things happen to us. Their mother and daughter is nice to see them work together again since The Fog. I think the last time was The Fog, because Janet Leigh was in The Fog. So it's nice to see them work together, mother and daughter, and in the Psycho reference, I don't know, it didn't bother me. And if people didn't know it, they wouldn't think twice of it. And, you know, seemed like a sweetheart of a character, and again, nice to see Janet Leigh in there. May she rest in peace. So, she did a good job in Psycho, she did a good job in The Fog. And this is for Small World, she did a good job in this as well. Now, again, the different masks, that gets a very obvious. Take a drink each time a different mask is shown. That's number one. Number two, the Halloween films are not really known for kills. But Halloween 2, there's a decent amount of kills. But you like the original Halloween. The original Halloween, there's not much kills. It's just like with this, you saw a little bit at the beginning. Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Why did I keep forgetting her name? Nancy Stevens. And then, pretty much it's two of the students, Adam Arkin. I think that's pretty much it that we see. But, yeah. But again, you know, these films are not really known for their kills. I would say also the setting of the film is kind of I mean, okay, it's a public school. Most of the kids are gone. There's only a few left. Maybe not the most enticing set. Like I said, the Halloween Resurrection, I think, is actually a more interesting set to be trapped in Michael Myers' house with Michael Myers, wondering where the hell he's at. these little nooks and crannies in it. Someone trying to help you by being your watchdog and warn you via text. He's there, wait, hold. You know, just seem a bit of a more interesting involvement of the viewer to get with it. So pay more attention to the story. LL Cool J, watch it, man. But he's like, fuck it. Michael Myers ain't gonna kill me, and a fucking shark ain't gonna kill me. Nope, nope, nope. Not gonna happen. Not today, son. Not today. Not today. But I mean, also, think about that. The black guy doesn't die. Lo and behold, the black guy doesn't die. Go figure. And I will say, I do think Stream Factory, despite my issues with them, they did a good job with the Blu-ray. Number one, I like the little bit of business of making it a black case. Commentary with Steve Miner and Jamie Lloyd, moderated by Shawn Clark. I think the only reason she did is because Shawn Clark became friends with her and kind of got her to do it. And it was funny because she doesn't like the film, but she was willing to do it. But Shawn Clark is a good moderator. Especially like the stuff he did with Wes Craven on, was it Swamp Thing and Deadly Blessing. I wish he would moderate more commentaries. You got the making of Halloween H20. It's about an hour long. Josh Hartnett, Jodie Lynn O'Keefe, Jamie Lee Curtis, Nancy Stevens, Adam Hanbird. Those are the actors in the film. Of course, you know Jamie Lee Curtis, Josh Hartnett. Jodie Lynn O'Keefe and Adam Hanbird, those were the two people that got killed by Michael Myers, the other two students. Nancy Stevens, the nurse. Tom Kane, I think he was the guy that had to do the Donald Pleasance voice that they couldn't get for that little narration thing. Patrick Lussier was the editor who worked a lot on other Dimension films, including worked with Wes Craven on the Stream films. He would be a director himself. Patrick Lussier directed My Bloody Valentine 3D and Drive Angry with Nicolas Cage. Producer Malika Akkad, which his father Mustafa was involved in this. Producer Paul Freeman, composer John Ottman, which I know he talks about there were different scores to the film. Because music by John Ottman, then additional music by Marco Beltrami, which I think he had worked on some of the Stream films. Chris Durand, who played Michael Myers. Writer Robert Zappia. Stunt coordinator Donna Tedian. Makeup Brad Harden. And cinematographer Darren Okada. Which I guess he's worked with Steve Miner a lot. And they were actually getting ready to do Lake Placid. But then this opportunity came up. And Lake Placid had to be pushed back because they wanted to shoot in better weather. So do this. But it's 58 minutes long. It's pretty good. Pretty in depth. But yeah, I would say I said the issues like the different masks. Okay, there's not a whole lot of kills, but you just say that for a lot of. But at the same time, even by this point, you know, like you look at Halloween 4, and you see the thumb in the forehead and the shotgun impalement. Especially as I don't like Halloween 6, the theatrical cut has that great gore scene of the guy exploding, that asshole stepdad, whatever the fuck his name is, who deserved it. Here, it's like I said, the aftermath of Joseph Gordon-Levitt was cool, but you did all right ones, but it's not a lot. But in usually it's more Friday 13th thing than Halloween. But I think it's this section here, things kind of slow down a bit. This middle section of the movie. God, this middle, I say middle, I didn't realize we're 50 minutes in. Holy shit. Told you, this goes by a fast pace. I didn't realize we're 50 minutes in. Damn, that's 36 minutes left. That includes the credits. So say figure the credits are at least 4 minutes or so. So that's pretty much half an hour left. So we're pretty much like from here until pretty much when the other two kids are dead. It's kind of I wouldn't say it's boring, but it's a bit kind of that reaction. You know, I've seen much worse. I've seen much better. I don't think the actors are bad. Like I said, when it cuts to like Jamie Lee Curtis and Adam Arkin talking, some nice bit of scenes between them. But this is just kind of like, yeah, okay. Get some kills in there. Or attempts of suspense, like later on where the guy puts his hand, you think he's going to get chopped off. But I do like what does he say here? He's like, take off your clothes. I forget where I've seen Adam Arkin from. I think it was from a TV show. Can't remember though. God, I'm trying to remember Adam Arkin, like where I've seen him in. Was it Chicago Hope or something like that? I can't remember. Trying to remember. Sorry, I'm waiting for the bit where he. That's terrible. Take off your clothes. Yeah, I thought he was a likable character in this. That's terrible. Take off your clothes. I did like him in it. I thought he was pretty funny. Without being annoying or just aggravating. At least to me. Sally, this 12. Once in a while this happens with soda. You get like a bad batch, and this is a bad batch of Mellow Yellow. Like, what fucking date is this? I don't know I don't know what it is sometimes. Sorry, I'm looking up here. What the fuck is the date? Oh, what the fuck, really? February 12th, 2024. This is Feb 1224. So that's February 12th, 2024. But yet, I don't know, once in a while, just sometimes, like, with Melio, I don't know what the deal is. Once a blue moon, that happens. So weird. It might not be the whole 12 pack, baby. It's just the one can. But I don't know. It's something like that. I don't know. Don't know, man. Yeah. Anyway. But I do think this is a good acting performance. Like I said, she's given more to do in this movie as an actress. That's why I don't understand why she hates this movie so much, but she praises the David Gordon Green films. Like Jamie says here, straight shooter, I'll be a straight shooter with you. What the fuck did you have to do in all three of those goddamn movies that you didn't do and do better in this fucking movie? And there's an explanation, I guess, as to why he waited. Is that somehow he knew... Well, it would be... Yeah, Mark Myers would be the uncle. Uncle Michael Myers. Waiting for his nephew's 17th birthday. Because he killed his sister and tried to go after her. At least here, it's like, okay, yeah, he's going after his family. Now, I did people go, well, you don't need an explanation. Like in the first one. People thought that's what it was going to be in the new films, and it wasn't. He just wanted to go the fuck home to his house. That's literally what Michael Myers wanted. He wanted his machete back. No, it's a different movie. Different villain. Michael Myers just wanted to go home. Just go home. Are you too good for your home? Fuck you. Suck my white ass, Mike Myers. He just wanted to go home. Isn't that the thing that Halloween Kills? He wants to go to his house. He kills Jamie Lee Curtis's daughter and he's standing in the house. But yeah, like, what the fuck does Jamie Lee Curtis get to do in those three movies combined? What did she do in Halloween 2018 that she did not do in this and did better? Please explain that to me. The things she did in 2018 Halloween, she did in this film and did better with more of a range of emotions. Fine, you call it's two different types of dealing with trauma. And I'll be honest, I think more people deal with it this way than they do in Halloween Halloween 2018. Not everybody. But I think more people dealt with trauma with the way Jamie Lee Curtis does in this movie than they did in Halloween 2018. Plus, it doesn't... In the world of movies, because we know this is fiction, that's why I say this. In the world of movies, we looked at the various other slasher films. Look what Amy Steele went through in Friday the 13th Part 2. Look what any number of these other people went through in these movies. And then Laurie Strode didn't have it as bad as some of them. Because only the first movie, Halloween movie, comes through. Is in the continuity. But anyway, that's a whole other debate. Now you think he's going to get his hand cut, it doesn't. But then here you get the bad CGI mask. Which I guess the set have been torn down. But then I'm sitting there going, number one, don't change the mask at all. Keep it. You made your bed with it, live with it. Or B, some clever way of editing. He turns and you get that eyeball shot. Hell, do like a slow-mo turn, and then you have that eyeball shot where you see the reflection and the eyes. Just stick with that. I mean, that is a nice makeup effect. I mean, it's aftermath. We didn't get to see it, but it's a nice makeup effect. That's not a bad shot. Point of view of the dumbwaiter going up. You see Michael Myers looking up. But yeah, it's one of those things where, since we're getting to this bit here, ooh, right in the leg. I mean, I should say this for the finale, but if we understand Mustafa Akkad, some say before the film was made, or like a few days before. I've heard also it was in the middle of it. That again, Mustafa Akkad got the oh wait, actually, I own part of this. You cannot kill Michael Myers. And I mean, like I said, to repeat myself, Kevin Williamson, who did these additional rewrites, he was trolling Mustafa Akkad. He would never admit it, I'm sure, but he had to have been. He'd be like, I have one group that says we want to cut off Michael Myers' head off. I have another guy saying, there you go. 3, 4. I do like the aftermath where you see the girl, her body hanging. I think it's a light bulb in her stomach. I thought that looked kind of neat. I mean, I'm guessing that's the TMB effects. Because I did a lot of stuff from Stream. Like Petrolucci edited it, so he edits this movie. Marco Beltrami does additional music for this, and I think he worked on Stream. TMB worked on Stream. So yeah, I gave him to work on this movie. So again, they Dimension wanted to capitalize and have another Stream type of success. Didn't make $100 million like Stream. I think even Stream 2 made more money than this, but still made a decent amount of money. I forget how much it made though. Was it 50 million? Was it 70 million? I can't remember. A good chunk of change. Yeah, this is the light. You find the yeah. That's a cool looking shot. With the light bulb, I think that looks pretty damn neat. That looks pretty damn neat. And like I said, I feel more for like Josh Hartnett's character than I do for anybody in fucking again the 2018 the new ones. The not fucking repeat evil dies tonight, evil dies tonight, evil dies tonight. No, instead you got Josh Hartnett trying to punch the shit out of Michael Myers. Ooh, right in the leg. That's a good girlfriend. She's not being useless. Just her, yeah, did whatever. A rot smacked him in the fucking face. Good. That's it. Your boyfriend helped you. You help him. Good. By your actions, makes me root for you. Makes me root for you. I think this is when Jamie Lloyd is going to find them, and yeah, that cool face-to-face between her and Michael Myers, which was used in a lot of the trailers, the marketing. Yeah, that's coming up. We're not quite there yet. But like I said, this movie goes by quick. I mean, there's a little bit of a slow spot, but now it's picking up, and pretty much from here to the end of the film, it just goes and doesn't stop, and I appreciate that pacing. And maybe because I grew up with this era. Like I said, I was probably 15 years old when this came out. So, yeah, because graduated in 2002. So I love that shot, face to face. Now, I'm still not a fan of this mask either. Again, that's one of my problems with the film. I'm not a fan of any of the mask usage. What's funny is this picture has the more Casper looking mask, and that doesn't. So that's I didn't even notice that. This has the other mask. This has the TMB the yeah, this has the TMB mask, while in the movie it's more the Stan Winston, the mask that's used. So they didn't notice that. And I like that line. What do we do? Try to live. But yeah, I don't like any of the mask looked. I mean, I would prefer them just using the mask from Halloween 4 or Halloween 6. Well, honestly, Halloween 6 mask doesn't look that bad and would have been a better fit. Because all the masks, the other masks they used, the Stan, Winston, and the TMB mask look ugly. I don't know, this one did look like if Casper fucked an alien. And this one just looks kind of cheaper. I think because you just see too much of the eyes. You just see too much of the eyes. You see the top of the eye and the bottom of the eye and the full eyes. And what made Michael Myers nice was that maybe you see a little bit of eyes in Halloween 2. Now this has to be an ode to Halloween 2 when he lifted the girl up with a scalpel. And plus, it's a nice vicious kill. You see the knife protruding out of the clothes, like the clothes popping up like that. Plus, I mean, it reminds me of one of my favorite kills of Halloween 2, where the girl gets lifted up and you see the shoes fall. Not this time, bitch. There you go. Well, how do you look at this film and think she was more of a tougher person in the new Halloween movies? She's outwitted Michael Myers, she fooled him there, hit him in the head with a fucking fire extinguisher. See, I think we just see too much of his eyes in this. I think you saw enough of his eyes in Halloween 2, and then other times you didn't see any eyes at all. This, I think you just see too much of the eyes. Just too much. So, probably one of my least favorite mask is the mask of Michael Myers would be in this movie, which is a shame because I like the movie. I wish it was a better mask, but pretty much all the ones they use suck, especially that one CGI one. Of course, you think the car's not starting? There you go. Zally, get the fuck out of Dodge. Get the fuck out of Dodge. And again, this is just so much more of a satisfying finale. I mean, in Halloween 2018, she gets pulled, shoots a couple Michael Myers' fingers off, gets the shit kicked out of her, comes back, gets the shit kicked out of her some more, thrown through the goddamn window. Isn't it like from the second floor or something? I can't remember. Then she disappears. Then the daughter and granddaughter lead Michael Myers downstairs. Or something like that. And the daughter does one thing, and Laurie Strode then starts the fire. Kills, she doesn't do anything but stay in the hospital. I love this bit here. She comes up, and now it's The Revenge of Laurie Strode. With the axe and goes, Michael! And it's cool. Like, this is like her by herself confronting her fears on the attack with a fucking axe. Let the one-on-one battle begin. It's like, this is the satisfying finale. Not fucking... What was it in Halloween Ends? I thought this was cool too. Him lowering himself down. Boom, right in the chest. Each take a hit. You get 1 point, you get 1 point. Steve Meyer got a nice little camera trick there. I don't know why he doesn't take the axe to try to kill her with that. I guess he's still stuck with the knife. Now, I think in Halloween 4, I remember reading somewhere that there was an idea Alan B. McElroy had where Jamie Lloyd was in a classroom, Daniel Harris's character, and Michael Myers would be throwing these desks up, which is kind of like this, except Michael Myers throwing the tables, and it's Jamie Lee Curtis instead of Jamie Lloyd. Daniel Harris's character hiding under. But I think this is cool too, like him on top, just waiting for her to come out. These close calls. This just a cool cat and mouse one-on-one chase. So satisfying. Her crawling and like, yeah. Him on top of the tables, just waiting for her. And I'm just like, here, there's a shot. Like, fuck these tables. Fuck this too. And fuck this too. He's pissed. I'm pissed off, goddammit. There you go. Should have gone lower in his pee-pee. I love that she's like, fuck you, I want to throw this right in your face too. Like, and bro, fuck you too. See, I just don't get it. I don't get it. It's not a flawless movie. It's not a 5 out of 5 star movie, but this finale makes it worth it, man. I guess it didn't to everybody. I did like, well, Halloween 22. Like, what makes that so much goddamn better? I want to hear that. I want an explanation. What makes Halloween 2018 better than this? What makes the ending of that movie better than the ending of this? I want to hear it. Look at this. Back and forth. Blocking knives. All this shit. There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fuck you out the door. And a backbreaker around the table. Now, of course, if you follow the logic of Halloween Resurrection, which to me is the worst part of that movie, when she looks away, a fucking paramedic, or maybe not at this point. No, it would not at this point. It would have been when she's taken away by LL Cool J. When she's taken away by LL Cool J, we're supposed to think that a paramedic came by, Michael Myers crushed his throat, put the mask on him, walked out, I think with the knife as well. The paramedic is in the ambulance. He wakes up. His first thought is not, what the fuck is this mask on my face? Let me tear it off. Is it super glued on there? What the fuck is this? He goes through the windshield of the ambulance, survives. Not only survives, but gets back up and once again doesn't try to tear this fucking thing off. Stays there in the middle of the road to be hit by an ambulance, which crashes into the guy, hits him, and then he's still not taking the fucking mask off. Even when he's on the windshield and he's staring at Jamie Lee Curtis, this paramedic is like, well, you can't talk. No, I'm like, what's going on? If you're a fucking regular paramedic, you throw been crushed, you're on top of a fucking windshield, are you going to stare? Or are you going to be like, so, I guarantee you, Steve Miner and Jamie Lee Curtis, I think they even said this in a commentary, and even you can tell Shawn Clark got pissed off by Resurrection, because even he says in the commentary, what, the guy can't take off the mask? You tell, like, Shawn Clark seems like he likes this movie, and he was pissed off by the ending. And I think Steve Miner and Jamie, they shot this as if this is the end, my friend, the end. Let them do what the fuck they want. We just ignore it. Like I ignore Alien 3. Because by this logic, this is Jamie Lee Curtis doing something smart. She knows he's not dead, so he takes the fucking thing. I mean, she takes the fucking thing and keeps attacking him. Which, by the way, if the paramedic was alive, would they not check the guy's pulse? It's Michael Myers. No, they would still check the guy's pulse and go, wait, the guy's alive, not put him in a fucking body bag. You put someone in a body bag because they're dead. You would check the fucking pulse. Up, he's got a pulse, not put him in a fucking body bag. So unless this paramedic had no pulse, all of a sudden he decided to have a pulse, then decides to get back up, and then what the fuck is this on? Then decides I'm going to go to the driver's seat and not crumble and take off the mask. I'm going to go to the driver's seat, because that's what you always do. You always just go to the driver's seat when you wake up in a body bag. Then, you know what, if I'm the paramedic, I'm like, fuck this. He would sit up like this and turn, because all paramedics do that, you know. All paramedics do that. They sit up and they turn, and they just stand there. I'm just going to stand here and let this ambulance hit me. Why not? And then I'm going to just stare at Jamie Lee Curtis. Not, or take off the map. No, I'm just going to sit there. Good van roll. Nice effect. I heard there was like different ways they wanted to do the ending, but they didn't have the budget. One was one of these like, it's like at the school, it's a rich school, so they would open up a swimming pool and you'd be fighting the water and it's closing in, so Jamie Lee Curtis has to escape before it crushes them. One was like it was a bus and it's tearing off the side of a cliff and there's like rescue helicopters and she grabs on the helicopter like she's, you know, like True Lies, and gets on it as the bus careens off the cliff and Michael Myers falls to his death in this crash with this bus. I mean, let's be honest. I think most people watch this, they just think this is Michael Myers. And that's why they shot it. That's why I guarantee you Steve Miner and Jamie Lee Curtis said, fuck what these guys say. We don't shoot like this. Steve Miner's like, I ain't doing the next one. I don't give a fuck. Jamie Lee Curtis is like, fine, I gotta do it, and just kill me off in 5 minutes and blah, blah, blah. Just let this be the end. And, there you go. The one single inclination is this bit here where he touches his face like this. But even Shawn Clark is like, what, is it super glued on? I forget what he said. He said the same thing I did. What if nowadays Steve Meyer would be more honest? I'm sure he was probably dog shit working with. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing with these guys. They gotta work with the Weinsteins and Mustafa Akkad. So you gotta work one group pulling you on one side, one group pulling you on the other side. Just Mustafa Akkad and the Weinsteins, they want to be filmmakers, but none of them have ever been one. So they tell you what to do. And you gotta trying to eat the shit sandwich as best as you can. And that's a crowd pleaser. That's a crowd pleaser. Yeah. She cut off Michael Myers' head. That's a lot more fucking satisfying than Halloween Ends, where they fucking do the Jesus crucifixion thing, give him a tidal wave as if it's fucking Woodstock 94 into the wood chipper, or what, the meat grinder, whatever the fuck it was. That's a more simple but much more satisfying ending. She did the smart thing, got Michael Myers here, and chopped his fucking head off. And it's an hour and 21 minutes. That is not 2 hours, not over 2 hours. The sweet spot, 1 hour, 21 minutes, done, move on. That's pretty damn fast. That's pretty damn short. See, Tom Kane is the voiceover. So yeah, they did a good job. Like I said, it's annoying that there's all the different masks. I wish somehow, with how deep fakes are nowadays, you look at some deep fakes, like someone put Bruce Lee's face on the Jason Scott Lee and writing the Bruce Lee story, all this other stuff. It's pretty amazing what they can do. It'd be to just take one mask and defake all the scenes so it's one consistent, better looking mask. But that would take too much money. I forgot Creed did a song in this. What's his life for? What's his life for? Which, of course, they would also do another Dimension film, Scream 3, a few years later. What if I like Creed. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. People do, Creed sucks. Bullshit. I mean, it's your opinion, to be fair. I don't agree. I say bullshit to the people who's like, you better say it sucked. No, I don't have to say shit. If you think they set these throne, Creed is in my top 10 favorite bands. This is a shitload of songs I like. With eyes wide open, with eyes, yeah. With arms wide open, I enjoy. Higher, I enjoy. This song, I enjoy. What if, I enjoy. What was the song? Who's got my back now? I even like some of Scott Stapp's songs when he went solo. I'm bad with song names. I'm trying to think of them. I'm just bad with names. But that's another thing I like about Creed. I like the band. I forgot this song was in it. But yeah. What's this life for? 'Cause we all live under the rain. I say you know of the one king. But they ain't here anymore. Ba da 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 da. Don't have to settle no goddamn score. Ba da 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 da. 'Cause we all live under the rain. I said, you know, of the one king. But yeah, Mr. Sandman. Give me a dream. What's his life for, Creed? But only 3 songs. And one of them is Mr. Sandman from the earlier. So it's not like this was littered with shitload of songs they plugged in to sell a soundtrack. There's really that one song by Creed at the end credits, so. Usually they try to pump in a lot more songs into it. At least with other movies. But yeah, that's Halloween H20. Like I said, some little bit of spots in the middle. I did H2O means 20 years later, but anytime I think of water. Halloween the Water edition. Hydrated edition of Halloween. But other some nitpicks here and there. I still do like the film. In memory of Donald Pleasance, that's nice. It's too bad, Donald Pleasance was not with us. Because it would have been great to see him in this. I mean, it would have been great. Would have been great to see. Sadly, is not the case, though. But yeah, still enjoy the film, still like it. Especially for that finale. Like I said, the setting and some spots in the middle, kind of there. Michelle Williamson is cute. I wouldn't say there's anything grand about her character. The mask being so different is very annoying, but like I said, short film, for the most part fast-paced. Some nice details from the director, like the reflection of the guy in Michael Myers' eyes. Some camera work, different type of camera work techniques compared to other Halloween films. A very satisfying finale. Very true performance. I would say Jamie Lloyd's best performance is Laurie Strode. To me, still a good sequel. And where the franchise should have ended. Despite some of the trashy fun at the Have a Resurrection, in all seriousness, the series could have ended here. And that's it. No more after this movie. Which is just, like, they make Resurrection, and then they end the series anyway, and then they get Rob Zombie's Halloween 1 and 2, and then you get the new Halloween trilogy. I'm like, they could just end it with this, and then do your fucking remake. But whatever. With that said, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.